Aquarius, how you getting on, guys? So here we are with your July. How you doing, Aquarius? So you've got children. It may involve children. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising or Venus. So what normally happens, if you've just found the channel, but what I normally do is this is a complete general spread. And in this, I'll try and incorporate everything, okay, which will be your spiritual growth, your money, jobs, career, family, dynamics of everything, because it is a general reading of a full spread for your July, okay? Then through the month, bi-weeklies, I will do the soulmate kind of stuff, okay, which is you and your love partnership. So it could involve children, okay, express your love, and calling in your soulmate, calling in, come to me. Like sexual desire, a lot of people have been having that. Release your ex and chemistry. So we'll see how this tallies up with this time period. So because this really would not pertain to just your love relationship, it will relate to everything, okay, a lot of things. So it's going to relate to children, expressing love to one another, calling in your soulmate, and release your ex, obviously. Okay, now what I've found out about obviously releasing your ex is searching for an answer. Now normally when you search for an answer, it means that you can be codependent on the want and need, that you just need to find an answer of why this is happening within soul groups or soulmate relationships. Okay, now we're all spiritually awoken by now, so we all know how difficult that is, right? So when you're on this path, you realise that the more you keep searching for an answer, you realise that sometimes answers never come, or they do come and it causes a fight, conflict, and then you have separation and you fight and the ego gets destroyed, and then you destroy them and they destroy you. Search and destroy. So then pretty much you have to realise that it's over in order to let things in, let things go, to let things in, to start new, to start fresh. Okay, then you can meet new twin flame soulmates. Okay, so basically, if you keep searching for an answer, or searching for an apology, or you're searching for something but you just need it to happen, that need and want, if that's an apology or if that is a need to find an answer, if it was an apology and it came in, would it be good enough? That's what you need to answer yourself. Would that really make you feel much more better with an apology from something that could have been dynamic? Okay, so because that can be like release your ex. I always get that from this card, is release your ex. Sometimes it's so difficult, this card pops up and it's like, yeah, but no, yes, yes, no, yes, no. I know I want to. I wish that sign would get out of my reading, right? Well, if you're not looking for a specific sign in a specific reading, then it wouldn't appear in there because you wouldn't be feeling it and you wouldn't be thinking it, and that means that your karma's gone and you would have released that karma. That's what it means. Release the karma, release it. Don't search for an answer and don't search for the truth, because when you keep searching for that kind of thing, if it's the past and it means relating to release your ex, then pretty much what it's saying is that if you did get an apology or you did find an answer, would it really be good enough? So I can't pertain to your actual circumstances of your life, but when you look at your life and your circumstances with an ex, okay, would an answer from them be good enough? Would you actually be able to believe it? If it was completely destructive and you've been in a partnership where it's been completely and utterly an array, if they said sorry, would you, one, believe them, and two, would you want them back? Or two, would it be satisfying enough that when they've gone, they're apologised, would you still have that in your mind? Of course you would, right? So you won't fully be able to search for something that will come in. So it might relate to a Virgo energy. You know, you're reaching for death on the end of a candle. You're searching for something that's already found you or found us. Everything's already found us, because you have to live presently in that state of mind, because you realise that your soul knows the experience. It's your head that doesn't know the experience, and that's what can't be released as part of the ego, okay? The ego is what keeps everything alive, where you keep searching for an answer, wanting an answer, or why these cards can keep popping up, where it's like release your ex. If you really can't, that means that you have a lot of karma or wounding, okay? But if you're still searching for an apology or anything like that, I don't know why I'm picking this up, but if you're still searching for an apology, then it's the same thing. You know, would it be settling enough? Would you be able to settle enough? Would you be able to relax more and think, oh, well, okay, well, at least everything that they done to me was bad enough, but is it okay for me to settle for that? You know, would I be able to actually forget it anyway? You wouldn't. You would never be able to forget your past. So you're never going to fully be able to forget what happened. Do you know what I'm saying? When it comes to releasing your ex, you have to release the karma and kind of settle into the now in order for the new to begin in, because what you don't want to do is ever project old onto new, because you'll destroy the new. You see, you realize it's always about you. It's never about anybody else. If you have a reflection with someone, because you have got reflection, When you do have that, you can't project that, which means that you don't want to search for an answer because it's already there, which means release. Release and let go to start again, right? Now, you can either start again with the same partner, but if it says release your ex, that's pretty much what it's saying. Release it, let it go, but let the fear go, okay? Let the fear go. Now, calling in your soulmate. So some people, you wouldn't really... It depends where you are on your karma. You know, sometimes when you release things, they come back for review. So we do have the retrograde season coming up and eclipses, and there's going to be a huge month coming up in July, okay? So normally when you let things go, that's when it comes back for a review for you, which means, like, are you going to settle for that kind of stuff? You know, like, because it's a judgment call. You still have to probably make your judgment call. So normally when a lot of people, and they don't state this about narcissism and control and destructive relationships and people that are stubborn and all that, twin flames, okay, they wouldn't treat like that. That would be a karmic chrysalis. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. And you think, oh, well, yeah, but I really fucking love them and I really want them. But no matter what's happened, I'm just going to continue on this path for a long time. Even though it's been destructive with my ex, you know, with my ex, I still have to keep doing it and keep doing it until they see me or see my worth. If you want that, that's fine, and that's what can happen if you want that, you know. But generally, calling in your soulmate, it's normally a new soulmate, meaning like you release your ex and you release your karma and you release your fears and you release your doubt and you release anything within your soul group callings of your family, town, city, province, state, money, jobs, anything like that. Anything that you really want to do that you know that you're called to do as an action, okay, through a release of judgment, you realise that releasing that kind of energy then calls in the new, which means that you call in the person that you're supposed to be with. And trust me, bad karma is just as good and bad, because, bosh, you know, you've had bad karma, right? Well, you know, do you know what good karma is? Have you seen it? So you call in the positive person and vibration of your head, not your soul. Your soul will vibrate from left, from right, from up, from down constantly, okay? That's why you have Sagittarian energy. Might be indicative to your reading maybe, okay? But it's a bit like your blood pressure and your pulse. It can go up and it can go down and it can go up and it can go down, and your desire can go up. Everything that goes up must come down, and whatever's down must go up, right? But you can't get any further down than what you are now, and that's why we have to ascend to go up, but then you just die and you do it again, right? So calling in your soulmate, calling in that person that you feel energetically aligned with within the mind, body and soul. Mind, body and soul, meaning like it doesn't have to be a physical appearance of pride. It means that someone you resonate with through their mind and their body and their soul, their general well-being of how caring and nurturing they are. That's why sometimes you can get cards where it says not to your expectations and all that kind of thing. Does that say this? Your prayers, affirmations and visualizations help bring you together. No, but there is a card in there. That just means that, you know, you'll never be able to choose the soulmate that you do. When you give over control, okay, which is all about these relationships, when you give over control, and you give over control to the universe and you say, okay, I'll give in, all that kind of stuff, you know, I'm okay with the person that you send me that you know is good enough for me, they'll align you with someone with what your soul's crying for, what they know is really good for you, what's good for you. Someone that resonates with what it is that you really want in life. If you want caring and nurturing for, then that's kind of what they will give you, you know. But that kind of feeling is around. Now express your love, and you've got children. So you might want to express love to your children, or there might be something to do with like release energy, some kind of release energy. Even though it says X, it just can mean like a release where something, let something go in order to see something like happen. Express your love to one another. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So it might be a gift or something like that. Okay, prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help you bring you together. So you have to keep the energy alive. You know, you have to keep the spirit alive. I forget the song now. Keep the spirit alive, free from desire. Desire seems to be coming up quite a lot in your reading. Definitely in this one. Okay, so let's go, Aquarius. So you've got the Queen of Wands. So there you go. Optimism. Steve, I'm feeling fucking extremely optimistic about the future of the thing that I'm about to go forth on. Okay, now you might have this in your chart somewhere, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or this is a family member or a child, or court, or anything like that. Court decisions, court cases, things coming to a close, that you now feel optimistic about the future, that there's been an ending and you're now looking in a positive new direction forwardly where you're going to take action. Queen of Wands is always about action, regardless of where it's in your sign. It generally means action. It means that you've got messages from the occult saying that I have a strong connection and desire with someone, that the messages that are people giving me, or a clairvoyant or anybody, has also told me that I should go forward on this project or this person, because it seems to be the person that's in aligned with my energy and also my mind, meaning the Akashic records of where we would be extremely spiritual together. So you did have this card fly out twice, okay, and it came out in reverse. So because I dropped the cards and that kind of stuff, but then it came out like that, and it was like in reverse. So I had to definitely take it, but it's in reverse. So if it's not, because it's general, basically this can be someone that's really intelligent also. Everybody says this is mind games, controlling a fight. Now it might be, right? But it can also be someone that's intelligent, and what they've learned through the intelligence of their situation now is that you use more of your intellect than what you do. Sometimes you need to use your intellect than what you do need, use wisdom, okay? When you can incorporate your mind and being reflective of what you've learned through mind games, you can stay more optimistic on your path in order to go forward on it. So basically what you're wanting to leave behind is the static and the ego, which is why it's in reverse. Meaning like there's something that you've got to do, a project, or you've got to go forward on, but it could cause some kind of argument. It's an argument. It can be, listen, if you're suffering from mind games and manipulation and extreme amounts of, then you are. But if not, generally, this is just having a fight with someone. It's just like a bit of conflict, where it's kind of like, you know, listen, no, I need to go. Just let me go. Okay, I just need to go forward on this kind of project. And it's like, yeah, but why? Oh, yeah, no, but, you know. So you leave, you know, you leave it behind. Leave the ego behind, leave the static behind, but that's pretty much what it's saying. In reverse is letting go of everything that stops you from feeling optimistic on your path. And a lot of you could have ended something, okay, it could have ended something, and you've now stood a new path where you're feeling very optimistic about the future. And what you don't want in your life is how you're going to be seen, which is like someone that's going to fight, or you've got a, well, that's what it is. It's leaving things behind of the second house of kind of like people that you see, or that they see you as conflict, you know, but it's only like minor conflict, you know. It's also like a bit of stress and worry that can be created through the mind, through feeling optimistic, thinking, well, whatever happens, I'm going on this journey, and that's it. Spiritual journey, my path, going to see my person, and that's it. That's what I'm doing. And it's causing maybe some kind of like static within the mind. So it could be to do with what's going on with Saturn and stuff like that. There you go. So it's a lot to do with travelling. The truth could be coming in about that kind of stuff, about someone that was playing mind games with you, maybe, but I'm not really seeing it that way. It's information, sure, but it's more to do with setting yourself free from people. So if you have to leave a town, a state, a province, or anything like that, and you're on about travelling, or if you're like leaving behind, because this energy is leaving it behind, right, for the truth, meaning like I'm leaving it. It's done, it's gone. It's no point me keep listening to the ego, or listening to society, or listening to my family members. Can be family members, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius in their chart, or air signs. But people that are general, that are going to keep you stuck, and that you're not going to be able to go forward on your path, okay? Which is like obviously something spiritual, but it can also mean like documentation, tax, like tax. You might be arguing with the tax people, or someone to do with tax. So, because this is like documentation or passports and stuff like that, maybe. So it's on about, please make sure if you do that kind of thing that you've got everything in order, so it doesn't cause a conflict with either one, a family member, a project or a place that you want to go forward on. Make sure that you don't get into a heated argument. But it really doesn't feel like, if it is, it's not going to be for long, because this is like the sword of truth, meaning, well, this is my truth and this is the way I've got to go. If it's going to relate to tax during this time period, because I know a lot of tax is kind of up at that point, make sure that you sign all the documents well, that you go over it with a fine-tooth comb. Don't try not to get into an argument with someone over that direction that it is that you want to go in. If it's to do with travel, make sure that you have all of your documents and that you don't leave anything behind. Everything is in order. But this is more like a discussion that you're going to have with someone that could be a fire sign in their chart, maybe, or air in their chart, and it can be family members, about this decision that it is that you've made, okay, about the truth. There you go. So it is about travelling. It's about taking a new direction altogether. It's about leaving something behind, you see. leaving it behind. You come from the 2, which is a decision, and you've arrived at the 3, meaning that you're waiting to go, you're waiting for a package, or you're waiting for documentation to come in, or you're waiting for some kind of document to be filled out so you can go on it, or you've actually had this or will have this slight discussion with someone, and that will set you free then, because both of these cards mean freedom. They're a lot karmic free, but they're also like leaving something behind, leaving the ego behind, stop listening to the static, go forward to travel. If the argument does arise, it can mean that it could be with a family member, because these generally are people that are family members or people that you live with or that you go around. Okay, so it's a lot to do with travel. Page of Wands, the Page of Wands. Yeah, so there's travel, communication also coming in, or receiving something via the via like packages or something. But this is basically really feeling confident that you want to go on this direction, that you want to go. This is a lot to do with travel. This is to do with documentation and travel, or waiting, like waiting. I've been waiting for a girl like you to come into my life. But you've got the Queen of Wands, the only girl here, but it can be a man. Well, it's someone that's optimistic about coming or going. But you've got desire. So we'll go under the deck. So you've got desire. Wow. Someone's up for a good night in or out. Desire. Sexual desire. Again, desire. There's someone that keeps commenting on my fucking channel. And listen, you're pissing me off. Gio Anderson, what are you on about? What are you on about? If you don't like the channel, then piss off. Oh my God. Oh, I don't know, people, right? But anyway, desire. So what does desire mean? Well, if you don't know what desire means, then you won't be feeling this energy. This is passion, this is sex, it's desire, it's being pulled, it's pulling. It's kind of like, wow, I'm holding on to that feeling. Hold on to the feeling. Yeah, manifesting something new. Wow, these are good cards. This is where it's releasing a lot of sexual desire. Because this is like, well, I want to hold on to that feeling. Like, it's like such a good feeling, because you've got the King of Wands energy. You've got the Knight of Wands energy, which is like traveling, but like for sexual encounters or sexual desire. But this is like feeling guarded and blocked, maybe, or something like that, about sexual desire, or that you've not experienced this kind of amount of desire, which can be relating to things that might start to cause a little bit of internal conflict. Also, the Five of Swords, internal conflict. But speaking, you see, the third house here is going to be like its purity. It's the Ace of Swords. So it means truth. If you're talking about traveling, and you're talking about that I see you as someone that's extremely pure and honest, that can deliver the truth, that will show up. The Ace of Swords is also somebody that will show up, but they will show up honest. You know, the Ace of Swords isn't about someone that shows up full of shit. Well, it can be, but generally it's about somebody that shows up on a date, okay? But they show up as themselves, meaning someone that's spiritual, but someone that is truth. Whatever their truth is the person that you're indicative with of your soulmate reading, okay? Also. Okay, sorry, but we're a little bit kind of shaky. So this is, because you've got like the Magician, this is someone that's extremely spiritual too, but this is like manifesting. So it's kind of someone, it can be, for some of you, it can be someone new, right? But that's a lot of spiritual orgasm. Can I speak like that, even though I'm a guy on here talking to a lot of women? But that's like orgasmic kind of energy. The King of Wands, the Knight of Wands. But what this is, you've got Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces also. Traveling, or like ending to feeling so blocked. If a lot of you do have some kind of fear around like passion and all that kind of stuff, and trying to understand what, like someone that can be very caring and loving and passionate, but also someone that's great in bed, you know, but also someone that's very caring and loving, like nurturing, you know. I was coming up with a song then. I need your loving like the sunshine. I need your loving like the sunshine, right? Because it's like a need and a want, these kind of energies. They're very like hypnotic. This was in the Aries reading and the Virgo reading, I believe, because underneath you've got the sign of Virgo. The sign of Virgo. Yeah, I don't want to go too far into the deck, but I can see the Two of Cups kind of popping out. But we will stick with these cards. This to me is about, through this reading at the moment, this Five of Swords, even though it's kind of in its reverse, it's telling me that there's a lot of where you're connecting with someone that's very truthful and honest about their sexual desire, for one, but also it's a good time of the person that you're connecting with, where this is going to break down the ego of where things could have left someone so fearful, because I believe this is what's being left behind, meaning that someone that you were with, and this is someone new. This is because this can be someone new, you see, right? And this can be someone new, and so can the Magician. So for some of you that are on the period of somebody new that you've just kind of met or that you are going to meet, there's going to be a lot of sexual desire in order to be with the person, but like a connection of that where it travels through airwaves of a connection of a twin flame. You know, you get that strong, passionate sexual desire when you meet, well, when you definitely meet the one that's someone so pure and honest here. Because regardless of soulmates, right, when you let them go, the old ones, you don't hold blame and resentment because you just don't really care anymore. It's just not that you don't really care about them. Some of you might think, fuck, I don't give a shit about them and they could fucking catch fire for all I care, right? That can be some of you. But generally, after a period of time when you're not wanting them, needing them, or searching their, you know, that star sign anymore, and you've found someone else and you're looking at their star sign, that's someone new. So then you completely forget about that star sign after a period of time, and you forget it. That's fine. That's fine for that energy to come in if a lot of you are, because that means that you're not searching for anything anymore. You're not searching for the truth. This is not a want and need for the truth anymore, because you've already found it. You're searching for something that's already found you, and it's right in front of your eyes, of someone that's very truthful and honest and caring and giving and nurturing. And this time period, what a lot of this is going to be about is moving on from this kind of energy of the Five of Swords, okay, with someone like we've gone through, but somebody that you're having like a real connection with, because this is breaking through boundaries of having to leave things behind, which is like blame and shame, because this is like shame as well, being shamed for something, because the Five of Swords can be like a shaming energy, name, shame and blame. So when you're not naming, shaming or blaming or anything like that, when you don't need shame in your life, if you was ever shamed, okay, a lot of these energies that you can find new, that can be a lot about sexual desire, that can break through those kind of boundaries with people. And I did hit on this with the last reading that I did, and someone said that could I have explained the things a little bit more and that it was okay for me to do that. And I think it was a Virgo reading, right? And you've got Virgo here. Now, a lot of these energies that were coming out through that too, I think, which was the King of Wands and the desire, it was breaking through here, the King of Wands, and that I didn't, through some kind of like childhood, I really don't know how to put it, like childhood things that could have happened to people during childhood, or some kind of manipulation that has kept this chain of events that has seemed to have happened in people's lives. I was picking up through that reading, you know, and that is very possible for that to do, because it causes a lot of conflict in the mind of, will it happen again? But so I'm not sure who's watching this reading or for those readings, but through this one, Sun, Moon, Rising or Venus, or for your star sign or Vedic chart, whatever, this seems to be that same reading, but it's generally breaking through that. This is not like, this can still be a fight that's caused to what we went over with having to leave something, okay? But generally as a soul of what this new person that you could well meet or that you have met, it's going to be breaking through some kind of sexual desire, or not desire, well it is with the person, but it's breaking through those boundaries of codependency of childhood kind of things that could have kept this going. Now I'm only picking that up through this reading because of the same cards that came out through the Virgo or Aries reading, that was kind of similar, and through someone's comment on that. So I thought I'd just elaborate a little bit more on there. Okay. But this new soulmate or old soulmate, so we'll still stick with the new. It's a lot to do with internet kind of messaging, or there's a lot of distance and travel. You've got a lot of travel coming up, like a lot of plans being made to travel. Also, if it's not to do with that, it's basically just dating. Again, you see, this can be someone new that you have or could meet, and it was via whatever you meet people over these days on the internet, right? I mean, I love my new soulmate so much. My soulmate, she's great, you know. And we've both had a lot of traumatic stuff in order to go through. We really have, but we've really been working on it a lot. And we live at a complete distance, and I'm about to travel halfway around the world. I really am. So if you want to donate to the channel, Aquarius, I'd really appreciate that, because I've got to spend a fortune. But trust me, I'm the kind of person that shows up exactly like this. I really am, because I think she's really worth it, and we really do connect very well. We really do. And you can't have fear when it comes to travel. If a lot of you are going to say, well, please talk a bit more about that. Me, I'm fucking fearless, you know. Me, I haven't travelled in my life at all, really, on my own. Well, I've never really travelled on my own. There was a little stupid incident that went before, but that's completely done and over. But this is like, it takes a whole day pretty much to get there. So, and I'm going on my own. You know, I'm literally going to go on my own. And I don't fear. You can't fear. You have to go into circumstances when you're spiritually aligned with soulmates. You have to go to it, go for it. You know, you have to go through karma. You cannot let the ego win, and you cannot let people win. Anybody. You are the most important person to you in your life, of what you want and what it is that you need for yourself. Especially if you're parents and things, you still have to put yourself first a lot of the time. A lot of parents, if it does relate to that, and children, you know, a lot of parents, you can, you know, if you look at your parents or whatever, they can hold on to you, because that's why you come up with the term of flying the coop, right? Some of people could be flying the coop, flying the nest, leaving. That's what I heard, leaving, traveling, leaving some things behind. But generally, you know, you have to go for it. You can't let things hold you back, especially when you're on a spiritual journey. You know, if you believe in spirit that much, I always say, you know, never believe in what I say, believe in yourself. That's the only reason that I ever do what I do, is to get people to believe in themselves. You know, when you do that, you start to find self-respect. And when you find that, someone sees that in you. And when they really see that in you, that's your worth. That's not no appearance of anything. It's the real connection that someone relates to you as a general person that you actually are, you know. But, so you've got that. Now, if your lot are kind of indicative to an old person, we will be going over that over on Patreon and Vimeo, because I've talked for too long. So a lot of you have joined Patreon, and I really do appreciate it. Now that is still $16, and it will go on through this next month or so. But after this month, July, it will stop and go to tier 2. Now at the moment, for tier 1, for $16, you get every single monthly and then every single bi-weekly and soulmate reading that I will also still continue to do through the month. Everything basically that comes on here will go on to Patreon, and you can watch them as many times as you like, for as long as you like, okay, over and over again. And you can keep checking back, because they are a heads up of advice. This one is going to pertain to everything, okay, everything that will really help you, because it's going to tell you what you need to leave behind and things that are going to be coming up and energy that you can work with. That's why I do a full spread, you know. Now, you can still watch it over on Vimeo if you want to. The bi-weekly, this will be in the monthly folder, obviously. Someone did ask, and it's in the monthly folder. And then the bi-weeklies will obviously be put in there still. But the Patreon is still a good option for people if you want to watch them all. If you want a personal reading, the email is in the description, and it will be pretty much generally exactly the same kind of spread as this, but to your circumstance. Okay, but what I am going to do is I will make a video for this, guys. I hope you're still here. Is I'm going to open up Skype readings again, but I'm going to do it like this, okay? Where we will do Skype and you will see the table and we can just talk and discuss, but then you can ask me questions as I'm doing it, and then I can tell you, but you can say, oh yeah, that really means that, and we can work through what that question is for you. That will give you a more of an understanding of how to break it down, because it's so difficult to do it via an email and then for me to do a video where we can't really talk. So I think opening up the Skype calling for the readings will be so much better, because you can see them and then we can go through them, and then I can really help more because I can try to generally see what that means and who that is for you, okay? So I'm going to open those up, and if you are interested in that or just a video reading, let me know. It's in the description along with all the other links. Thanks very much, Aquarius, and I will see you over there soon. Peace.